I never knew you were in a band. This is the Whirling Dervishes.
The Whirling Dervishes, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy was a whirling dervish.
Okay.
We found some big, heavy clubs, and we're crawling through the brush. You think we're a bunch of peaceful hippies, right? Well, I came up with more fights than I could count. Now, when I was 18, I got busted by a couple of corrupt cops, and one of them planted a joint on me. It was my first crush ever. I've got some of the last of the original Purple Haze. And they would come with the rattlesnakes, drop them in the gun. He's saying, my uncle would say, now don't let those snakes out, you know.
I think what's so amazing about these stories is how it seems how easily you lived outside.
I spent the whole weekend till Monday morning stoned in that jail cell. The Eastern tradition is more about the inner world and withdrawing and going into the monastery and all. The Western world is more action-oriented.
Randall Carlson is a man who needs no introduction. He's been on the Joe Rogan Experience 8 times, including one that was never even aired due to very controversial geopolitical issues. So when we came into this conversation with him, I thought we were going to be talking about all the topics he's so well versed in, like ancient archaeology, sacred geometry, the moon. But when we started asking him about his life, it just started unfolding like a movie. He's been at some of the major political rallies protesting the Vietnam War. He has been arrested while a cop plants a joint on him, and he spends the weekend in a prison cell. He's a master mason, and he's been working with wood and stone since he was 15 years old. And he's mostly been in construction before he became famous. So he was in a band that played Middle Eastern music, and you're going to hear him play the drums. He's experimented with being a whirling dervish, which is where you put your hands out to the side and you spin in a circle for hours on end, and it induces this altered state of consciousness. I mean, his stories just continue and continue. In fact, he has an eidetic memory. What that means is that his ability for recall in names, places, dates, all of those kinds of things is nearly perfect, to where he'll tell these stories from when he was a teenager and in his 20s as if it was yesterday. So we talked to him for about 3.5 hours, and we cut it off at 1 a.m. But the truth is we continued to talk to him until 7 in the morning. He continued to regale us with more stories and more photos, and you're going to see a lot of these photos. In fact, we had to cut it off at 7 a.m. because we had a 9 a.m. flight that we had to go catch, and we just had to get out of there so we wouldn't miss our flight. So I'm so grateful that we got to have this conversation with him, and I'm grateful that we get to share this with the world. He does have a YouTube channel with about 500,000 subs, and he gets millions of views every month, and you can go there to see what he's an expert in. But I've never heard these stories from Randall, and I'm so grateful that we got to have him. Please, if you do like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. We're still under a year old, and all of these subscribes really help us with the algorithm, and I really appreciate it. We enjoy having these conversations, and we enjoy speaking with people that are seeking truth and are curious about the world and want to have these types of conversations. So I really hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the Austin and Matt podcast.